Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the code message group in the Timesavers 2 tab of the Timesavers add-in. So with the code message group, basically it's just there so that you can create a code message that students would need to decipher. So what you're going to do is, first of all, you need to decide if you want your code message to have only lowercase letters or only uppercase letters, or you can create it with numbers, or you can create it with full sentences which has lowercase and uppercase and a few punctuation marks. Or you can do completely custom where you can put in numbers and letters and whatever you want to. Okay, but if you're choosing custom, you will need to fill in the number of characters you're going to want to use for your code. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to just show you the first example using ABC, and I'm going to show you how that works. So once you have selected the type of code message you want to create, all you need to do is click on the Create button, and it will bring this up. So now what we're going to do is, it is already filled in a table for us with the letters A to Z using the selection I chose, which is lowercase letters. And now it's telling me that I need to fill in, or I need to add all the images that I wish to use in my code on the slide. And once I've done that, I just need to click on that button again. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go and insert my pictures. Now in this case, I'm just using pictures that I created for the add-in, for the icons. So, but you would use whatever pictures you want to. Okay, so those are the pictures that I'm choosing to use. So I have got, in this case, 26 images. If you do put in more images, it will only put the ones in that will fit onto the table. So it doesn't really matter. And if you put in fewer images, then you just will have empty spaces, and I'll show you how that works when the message is created as well. Okay, so once I've got my images on there, all I need to do is I need to come back here and click on the Create button again. And now you can see it has automatically put those images into my table. So I'm going to go and type in the message that I want to make. So I'll say, hi, this is a test code message. Can you decipher it? Okay, and now once I've created that, you see that over here, the message telling you what to do has disappeared, so that this is then ready to use if you're giving it to students as their key. Over here, you've got the code message they need to decipher, and then this is the fully decoded one. Now, anything that does not appear on this table, so any punctuation marks that didn't appear on this table, you'll see when they are deciphering it, they've just got the punctuation mark over there. So they would be able to just fill that straight in. They don't need to go and work out what it is. But all the other characters, you can see that they can get from the table over here. Over here, you can see that I had a few capital letters in my message that I typed in. They were automatically changed to small letters because I am choosing to create a code message that uses only lowercase letters. So that is what happens when you type in a message that has a case that is not what you chose. Okay, so now if you want to use the same code to create a new message, then all you need to do is make sure that you are on the slide that has the original code, and then just click on this button again. You've already added the pictures. All you need to do is click on the button again. It will detect that there is already a code on this slide, and it will use the code that is on the slide to do your next message. So this, I will just say, you got it. And then it creates a new code, and it just puts it also directly after the code over here. So it fills it in before the previous one that was already made. And there is your new code message. Okay, so now that is how it works if you are doing lowercase letters. If you're doing uppercase letters, then it will, so if you want to create a new one, you obviously then can't be on a slide that already has code. So what you need to do is have a blank slide in front of you, or one that just doesn't have code on it, and then you can create a new one. So I'm going to go and do ABC capital letters and create, and now you can see it has done the same thing as it did before, but this time I have capital letters in there. So if I go and create, I need to put in my pictures first, so let me just go and put in all my pictures like that. Okay, and then if I want to go and then create my message, I'll say test 2 or whatever. Okay, then it creates my message, and this time you can see it changed all of them to capital letters because I was creating a code message that has capital letters in it. So that's what happens when you are doing only capital letters. Now again, I can, if I choose a new one, a different slide that doesn't have a code on it already, I can then put in a different code message. This time I'm going to show you the numbers where you have 0 to 9 that you can put in. So you're only going to be putting in 10 pictures for this one. So over here, I'll go and put in 10 pictures, and then I will go over here and create. And so I'll just do 3492 as a random code that they would need to find, and then that is the deciphered one. Okay, then for the sentence one. Now the sentence one means that you can put in uppercase and lowercase letters as well as some punctuation. Okay, so I'm going to go and click on create. And now you can see I've got space for my lowercase letters, I've got space for my uppercase letters, and I've got space for some punctuation. I've already filled in over here for you a full stop or a period, an exclamation, a question mark, a comma, and an apostrophe. But there is also some space that you can fill in a few extra punctuation characters if you want to, or a few numbers if you want to. That is entirely up to you. You can use those spaces if you would like. You do not have to. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and add my pictures. So here I'm just going to add all of my pictures, which is more than I need. Okay, I don't need this many pictures. There will be some left over, and that's fine. So now I'm going to go and click on that again, and I'm going to make my message. I'll do the same one that I had before. Hi, this is a test code message. Can you decipher it? Okay. Now, you can see over here, obviously there is a lot more characters involved because I have a lot more that they can go and find over there. So if I've got a capital letter now, you can see over here the capital H is those lines over there, but the small h is this tag with a tick on. So the capital letters and the small letters are treated differently. They have different images. Also, I've got my punctuation, which has its own images as well. So you can create your code message using that. Okay, so now, like I said, you can add in some extra punctuation here if you want to. However, if you want to add the punctuation in, you have to do it before you add the pictures, because the punctuation or any extra characters that you fill in over here won't be used unless you did it before you added the pictures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to create the same thing again. So I'm going to create a new one, also using sentences, but this time I'm going to have also plus and minus and times and divide, and I'm going to use those as part of my code. So now I need to go and put my pictures in again, so select all of them and just insert, and then I'm going to go and click on create, and this time I'm going to have my code plus, minus, times, divide, just so you can see how those work. So let me just put some spaces between them like that. Okay, so now you can see that it uses those over there that I put in as my code. However, if I had tried to do that with this one, where I had already put the pictures in before creating, before adding the extra characters, so if I put the plus, minus, times, divide in after I've already put the pictures in, and after I've already created a message where the pictures were inserted into the table properly, then it won't work. So if I try and create another code message here, plus, minus, times, divide, then if I click OK, you'll see that it didn't work. It didn't use the pictures that were over there because I added those characters after I put the pictures in and after I already used this button to have the and got the pictures to go into the table properly. So just be aware of that. If you want to put extra characters into your spaces over here, you need to put the characters in before you add your pictures and click on this button again. Okay, next thing I want to show you is if you have created let me just go over here. If you've created one where, so now I'm going to create a new message using what I've got over here already. So like I said, if you want to create a new message from an existing code, you can do that. All you need to do is click on here, but I'm going to show you what happens if some of those, if you didn't have enough pictures in there. So if you have some that are blank. Okay, so I've deleted those pictures. So now let's have a look and see what happens when we create a new code. Now, something I didn't mention before is if you are creating a new code message from a code that already exists, you just need to make sure that this corresponds with what that code is. So in this case, this was an uppercase letter 1. So I need to go and make sure that this is uppercase. Otherwise, it won't work properly, because when it creates the code, it refers back to what is filled in from that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and create, and I'm going to make sure I have W in it so that I can show you what happens if you are using one that where there's a picture that doesn't exist. So what is the answer? Okay, so now over here you can see that the W over there didn't have a picture. So it is treated like anything else that does not have something in the table. So like the question mark, it's just typed in normally over here, the same thing for the W. So if you have created a code like this and you don't have enough pictures to fill all of them, or if there's one that you specifically want to leave blank, then you can do that and it will automatically just fill in the actual letter in its place. So just for you to be aware of that. Okay, so then the last one that I haven't shown you yet is the custom. So now for custom, when you select custom and you click on create, now it's going to ask you how many characters, and that's numbers, letters, and punctuation, whatever characters you want to put into your code you wish to use. So you can put in any number over here. Okay, so if you put in 30, then it will go and create space for you to fill in 30 different characters. But obviously, because this is custom, it doesn't know what the characters need to be. So you would need to go and fill those characters in. So I've made it so that the spaces where you would fill in the characters are orange. So you can't get confused about where you must and where you mustn't put characters in. So you put characters in where it's orange. So you would have A, B, C, and so on. Okay, so I have filled in all of the characters that I would want to be using. So in this case, I'm using all uppercase letters, and I am using a few punctuation marks as well. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you would then, just like you do it normally, you go and put your pictures in. So I will go and put in those pictures over there, and then I will go and click on create. Now it's going to ask me, just like normal, what I want my message to be. So I'm going to make my message hi there. Okay, so now if I click on OK, you'll see that it doesn't automatically change my small letters to capital letters because I did not select the uppercase over here. It is custom. So it is using whatever I have over there. And if it doesn't match, if my characters that I type in for my message do not match what is over here, then it assumes that those characters don't exist. So it just fills them in over there. So if you are using custom, you need to be careful that when you type your code message in, that you are using the type of characters that you have opted to use when you created this over here. So if I wanted to do this again, and I want to make sure that all of those are going to actually have pictures, what I would need to do is I would need to type in all in capital letters like that, and then you'll see that I have all of my pictures for my code there. Okay, so just something for you to be aware of. If you are using the custom, then you need to make sure that you have typed in using the same characters that you used in your code message over here. Also, something for you to be aware of that I mentioned already is if you are going back and creating a message, like over here, I'm creating a message using one that already existed so a code that already existed. Now if I try and use this one over here, I need to make sure that it matches. So I need to make sure that that is numbers. Or if I'm using this one, I need to make sure that this is uppercase letters. Because if I don't, then, or it's not really such an issue for the numbers, but for the uppercase and the lowercase letters, if I don't make sure that it matches, then it won't automatically change what I type to uppercase or lowercase to match what I've got over here. So it would be fine if I made sure that I only typed in uppercase letters when I'm creating my code message for this, or if I only typed in lowercase letters when I'm creating my code message with this one. But it won't be able to change it automatically if I haven't got this changed already. So just something for you to be aware of. Also, if you have a lowercase letter one in front of you and you have uppercase selected over here, that is going to cause a problem for you because it will automatically change to uppercase and then it will not detect that this is the same. So just for you to be aware, please make sure that you do change that so it corresponds with whatever you have in front if you are creating a new code message with a code that you already created. Okay, I hope that that has been helpful and I hope that you will have a fantastic day. Thank you. Goodbye.